Welcome back once again to this series, in which we sit and we watch Uncharted 4 multiplayer gameplay. It's really that simple. Anyway, our next match, this is episode 10. Congratulations everyone, I forgot. Episode 10. We've made it to episode 10. That means 10 straight days of daily uploads, which is not something I ever thought I would do, especially given the content I usually make. I never thought I'd ever make 10 videos consecutively. Or even 10 videos full stop, so I'm impressed. Anyway, the next match is actually 2 months prior to the last episode. So the last episode was the 26th of April, and this one is the 26th of February. I do believe I have that right. I know that, February has less days, but, if we were to just say, it's about 2 months. Anyway, let's get in, because I don't want to explain. Let's just get in, shall we? It did say the map at the top left, but I didn't actually see it.
At this point, you might
Trainwreck! Alright, a new map. A map we haven't played on, and I believe this is actually Cena's favorite map. Unfortunately, he's not in the game, of course, but, what can you do about that? Shared relic booster. Oh yeah, they had those, didn't they? What did that do? I didn't read it. Probably should have read it. That would have probably told me what it did. Someone's left the game. That's alright. So yeah, this is for people who aren't, for people who are uninformed, this is a map that was in Uncharted 2. Obviously, if you played Uncharted 2, this is the most, I guess, recognizable location in the game. And so this is the map from Uncharted 2 that they put into Uncharted 4, and they did the same thing with Village, but they took the Uncharted free version of Village from the multiplayer and put it into this game. So yeah. And obviously because this game's a bit different with the grapple hooks and all that, they had to change it slightly. But I didn't really play much Uncharted 2 multiplayer. I played a bit of Uncharted 3, but not enough. And, the PS3 controller, those analog sticks, I mean, it was complete wank. Like, you weren't gonna get me to play that game. Because the aim... I'm using a brute? What? That's uncommon. Anyway, yeah, the analog sticks on that controller were complete dog, to be honest. So, yeah, aiming was just not gonna happen, basically. I suppose you get used to it over time, but yeah, it just wasn't for me. And the game itself just, I don't know, I just never really played it. Uncharted is always the type of game, even me, I'm guilty of it even back, years ago. Uncharted is not the type of game I would think of, I would associate multiplayer with, because you play it for the story. Even though there is multiplayer, that's not really the thing that comes to mind when you think of Uncharted. Not necessarily that it is now, but it is a lot more than it was, for me at least. Piku's back once again. I don't think he's ever going to really leave us. But that's not a bad thing. Because most of the time, he carries me. Ah, oh, that's unfortunate.
Asshole.
Asshole indeed. I kicked him right in the asshole. It looked like. Avenger. I'm now an Avenger. What's the event? Oh, I'm gonna stop that. Anyway, I'm not an Avenger. That was a lie. That Avengers game, though, to go off just on a complete rant, that Avengers game looks pretty good. I know people were a bit wound up by the fact that they don't look like the actual Avengers. But, oh god. Why do I even speak? Why do I even make these videos? I can't even speak. Anyway, I think it looks quite good, but I also get where people are coming from because the game is so similar to the Avengers of the MCU that I can understand why people are like, well, why don't they look like them? But I mean, how much money would it cost to have them, have the likeness of Robert Downey Jr. or whatever? But I do suppose, the costumes and the look of the game, the vibrancy of it does very much so, remind you of the original Avengers movie. So I can understand people's complaints there, but I don't think it's anything to get mad over, which I think gamers just generally like to do. And I guess people just in general, I don't think that's exclusive to gamers necessarily. Because people love to be angry, It seems like it, at least. People love to get upset about something, and... yeah. Anyway, that's not really related, I suppose. Not bad. Oh, another enemy's just popped right up. Grenade. He almost rolled into it, but not quite. My brute is still alive. I must have been doing it for a challenge because I usually don't use brutes. If I'm going to use a sidekick, it's actually usually the hunter. If I'm being honest with you. Yeah, you can see there it's for a challenge, so that doesn't really surprise me. Hey, there's a good question. What's your favorite bloody Marvel Cinematic Universe movie? I like a majority of them, I guess, but overall, they're not, I'm not crazy on them, I guess. I think my favorite overall is actually the original Avengers. I think that's the one I had the most fun with. Just because, I don't know, I just feel like the later ones, you know, with like Infinity War and Endgame, I don't know, they just got a bit all over the place, and there's too many characters, and Thanos is not a villain I particularly care for in any way. I find his whole plan to be really dumb, I guess, and I don't really see his point, I suppose, and I guess that's why in Endgame, it basically, from memory at least, they kind of reveal that, yeah, he doesn't really care, he just wants to kill everyone. Which, yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, that's some insightful that is some insightful analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway. But yeah, the original Avengers movie, I do enjoy that one a lot. I get what people say when they say, like, the cinematography, you know, the look of the movie, the way it's framed, it's like a TV show, almost. It looks quite amateurish, I guess, but I kind of like that feel to it, maybe. I don't know, I just think overall it's really well balanced, you know? I think all the characters, especially in that final third act, you know? I think all the characters really get a moment to shine. Even the one who just has an arrow. He just has a bow and arrow. Like, what if he can be an Avenger, I could be an Avenger, you know? I mean, granted, I'm not as good as he is with a bow and arrow. Anyway, let's stop talking about superhero movies and let's actually focus on the gameplay, because it's team deathmatch. I apologize for going off on a rant like that. I kind of just go wherever my mind takes me. So the hunters grabbed them. I've taken them out. I'm getting shot at. Back to the play-by-play commentary. I'm climbing up. I've made it up. I've gone out the window. The hunter once again is on the move. I've thrown a grenade. And that grenade's gotten kept. I love when that happens. I love when you throw a grenade, down someone, and then the grenade gets the KO instead of the down. I find that really funny. Because obviously that's not the intent, unless it was. Let's just say it was, because that sounds better. Me and Peekaboo just running after that hunter. There's a lot of sidekick usage in this game, in this match specifically. But yeah, these new maps, the new maps from Uncharted 2 and 3, Peekaboo's not a fan of them at all, he tells me. He tells me Trainwreck and Village are, I think, his least favourite maps, which is crazy, but I understand why, you know, he's not a big fan of them. I get why. I can't remember exactly why he isn't a fan of them, but I'm sure he'll tell me, you know, once he sees this video. Oh yeah, they also added the M4 as a gun, didn't they? Oh, there's only one down to go. I've taken out the staff, and that's the game.
Congratulations. It's not every day you get
Wow, time really does fly when you're just not paying attention at all. Well that was... Oh, okay, game's over. Well, I think, on the whole, that was a pretty short match, actually. I wasn't expecting it to be that short. That's a lie, actually. I saw how short it was, and I picked it, regardless. Just because that's the one I landed on. Anyway, that was a bit all over the place. I apologize. I kind of ranted on about the Avengers and such, but, you know, maybe you'll get something out of that. The next video, I'll try not to talk about things that aren't related to the game we're watching. But anyway, that was episode 10. That was probably the worst episode 10 you could have asked for, I guess, but I mean, with this series, you know, the idea, you know, as I keep saying, the idea is that you never know what you're going to get. So if I start ranting about something completely unrelated, well, I'm not really, I'm being consistent, at least, you know, in some way. Anyway, thank you for watching once again. Yeah. I wonder what the thumbnail for this video will be, now that I've just gone off about the Avengers. Yeah, the thumbnails lately, actually. God, they've been really weird and really fun to make. The one I made with E.T., that didn't even come to me at first, and I was just like, oh my god, his finger's bloody, like, beaming light. I have to put E.T. in there. And so I did, and the one after that, obviously. For those who maybe didn't get it, I guess, the idea is basically just that I say in the intro that this is the greatest series on the internet, and what I was doing there to prove that that's the case is I basically just took a screenshot of the YouTube trending page, and I put my last video as the #1 trending video on YouTube, in Australia at least. That was kind of the intent there, but yeah. So that one was that one got a little bit meta, if you will. That one got a bit out of hand. Anyway, this outro's getting out of hand. It's been going on far too long, and you're just staring at that cat picture, because I don't know what else to put there, you know? That's a problem. Anyway, well, that's another crisis to have. Anyway, I'll see you next time. I say anyway too many times. Bye.